What's good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with the overall market and talk about what the technicals are suggesting for NIO. I'm also going to break down what's happening with all the different charts out there and how they may dictate NIO going forward, and why next week is going to be absolutely massive for NIO stock because we have earnings coming out on Tuesday. You can see right here on Tuesday we have earnings. So I'm going to break down all this information for you, talk about why next week is going to be very big, and some important things about NIO's technicals that I do see developing so far. Before I do anything like this, though, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks plus a $50 cash reward, and the offer ends in just 5 days. So check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. All right, so anyways, looking at NIO on the 4-hour time frame, there's something very interesting developing. The MACD is starting to trend upwards, and looking at NIO, the RSI is also trending upwards while the price has been trending lower. You can see the RSI made this low here, forming the first bullish divergence. This became a double bullish divergence right here, and it is now developed into a triple bullish divergence, meaning we made these 3 bottoms here, this first one here, the second one, and the third one, and yet the RSI made 3 new highs. That tells me that NIO is going to get a bounce most likely going into next week. Now, is it going to bounce because of earnings or approaching earnings? That's what I'm not too sure about, but I believe it's going to happen as soon as Monday, approaching earnings. I think that's very probable. Now, there are 2 big things coming out for next week. Number one is we have the earnings. Let me just zoom out for 1 second so that you can actually see this. So this is basically what the chart looks like for Tuesday, okay? Before the market opens, we have NIO's earnings, okay? Then we have Monday. It's going to be a full day. And I think for Monday, NIO is likely going to bounce very nicely. We might see some very explosive price action. NIO has this imbalance all the way up here at 11.3. We also have this very important level very close to our 200 EMA at 11.6, not to mention the 12 and then 12.4 level. So we might see NIO pump a couple of dollars all the way up to the 12s if we start to see lots of hype associated with the earnings, and if we get a very nice pump approaching its earnings, right? So I think there's a good chance with the bullish divergence, we're going to see a very explosive move to the upside. We could see NIO hit the 12s. Now, if earnings go as planned and NIO starts pumping thanks to earnings, we could see this thing start pushing very, very nicely. But there's one problem I see with the market right now that could have a negative effect on NIO, at least after its earnings come out. And that's the fact that when you look on SPY, okay, we have this possible head and shoulders developing on it, which tells me the whole market could start to sink a little bit later. There's a possibility of that maybe going into like Tuesday or Wednesday if this head and shoulders is truly going to develop, and if we get this bad piece of news and a rejection at this level. I did talk about this very briefly yesterday. So if the market starts like rejecting and slowing down, yes, NIO could pop approaching its earnings, maybe even after earnings it pops. But you all remember what happened to Nvidia. Nvidia pumped after its earnings came out all the way up to the 520s. And then what happened after earnings? As soon as earnings was done, we had 2 days of selling in a row, and now it's down to like 460. So there's a chance that can happen to NIO, especially if the market slows down. One thing that concerns me is the fact that Tesla's approaching this next level, getting very close to this 242 area, 241.11. If Tesla pumps a little bit more for Monday or tries to hold up, what happens if it hits this resistance right here? So like right here, we have this resistance that's coming up. If Tesla rejects, this could be forming a head and shoulders. If you guys look at this, it looks like a head and shoulders on Tesla. If NIO pumps on Monday, right, let's just say approaching its earnings, NIO holds up. I don't know what's going to happen after earnings, but if Tesla starts selling off because of this head and shoulders, if SPY starts selling off, if Apple starts selling off, if the QQQ also starts selling off based off this formation right here, this could once again lead to things which are not that great. There's a possible head and shoulders on the QQQ if we do see this thing pump up to about 366 or so. And if this gets a rejection, maybe it's slanted a little bit so it doesn't pump as much, but if it rejects and starts sinking, tech is going to start cooling off even more, and that could cause NIO to start dropping after its earnings. Maybe not like directly from earnings. It could just be a little bit after its earnings for like Wednesday and Thursday. There is a possibility of that. However, there's one last thing that could save NIO, and that's going to be their deliveries. So just as a reminder, when it comes to our earnings calendar right here, I just want to remind you all that this right here is basically the chart for next week. The first day, Monday, is going to be the 28th. The 29th is going to be NIO's earnings. And then, we have the 30th and the 31st. And then Friday is going to be the first day of September. So if September 1st is on Friday, what does that tell us? NIO is going to have their deliveries coming out. So even if NIO kind of like pumps on Monday, all right, Tuesday it could pump a little bit more depending on earnings. Maybe it starts coming down. And if the market starts selling off, like I was talking about earlier, there's a chance NIO could kind of like explode in the beginning of the week, start selling off as soon as Tuesday after earnings. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe by Wednesday or Thursday it could sell off. But then if deliveries come out very strong, we could see a bounce on Friday and it could come right back up. Okay, so I hope that's as clear as possible. Maybe a strong start to the week. The middle of the week may be a little bit weaker. Then the end of the week could be stronger for NIO for the week because of deliveries. Now, I just want to mention that deliveries were very strong the last time they came out. Hopefully, this isn't too small. Let me just fix this. Give me 1 second, guys. Anyways, looking at their deliveries, they did 20,000 in July. They were up month over month, a 91.1% increase, a 103% increase year over year. They killed it. If they pull off something like this for August, if they give us good numbers, another like at least 15,000 or something, the ES6 is very, very popular. If this keeps on killing it for August, despite all of the slowdowns and the overall demand in China, especially like globally, if they kill it, if they do very well, there's a chance NIO could start pumping even more. If not, the complete opposite could happen. So there is hope for NIO towards the end of the week. So once again, as a final reminder, just to give you guys a heads up about this, we have a huge week for NIO. Monday may be a strong day as we have a triple bullish divergence on NIO. We should see a bounce on Monday, a push up into the 11s, if not get close to $12, possibly. For Tuesday, NIO has earnings. I don't know if it's going to be a pump and dump earnings or if NIO is going to slow down. It's a little hard to predict. Even if we pump on Tuesday, if the market is slowing down, then for Wednesday and Thursday, this could drag NIO down, slow it down just a little bit. It could even happen as soon as Tuesday. But for sure, it's more probable that if the market stalls off later on for the week with the bearish signals developing on like Tesla and Spine, etc., this could slow NIO down for the middle of the week. And then for Friday, with NIO's notorious deliveries report coming out, this could pump it on Friday if things go as planned. If not, the exact opposite could happen. So we don't truly know. So we'll have to wait and see. I think NIO should be announcing it on September 1st. The last time they did it was like the same day, the first day of the month. So let's see if it comes out by then. That could be a big catalyst for NIO to push it up. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But otherwise, things are looking good for the company. Fundamentally, NIO has strong fundamentals. The future is still very bright for the company. I can't wait for what the week holds. All right, so be ready. Do what you have to do, guys. I thank you all so much for listening. Please enjoy the rest of Saturday. And then don't forget, once again, I have the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. You also have access to the Hong Kong markets if you want to trade NIO on there. That could be another place to buy it in case you're afraid of like NIO getting delisted or something in the US. So far, that's obviously not going to happen, but you never know. So just to be safe, this gives you more opportunities. So check this link out, which is down below. The offer ends in just about 5 days. Anyways, have a great day. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long term is still very bright, and peace out.